The idea of gender in the modern English world seems to always involve humans and animals. But that makes sense. There are males biologically and females biologically. So, when we're pregnant, one of the first questions we get is, do you know the gender, or will you find out the gender? And then everything for a new baby seems to be geared around their particular gender, like blue for boys and pink for girls. Sure, the biology is different between these two genders, but society also treats boys differently from girls. And who says that boys must like blue and girls pink? Is that in their biology, or is it in a social construct? So to conclude this slightly off-topic introduction, we don't necessarily have biological genders as much as we create them. But for the ancient Romans, all nouns had a gender, not just living, breathing beasts. It's like a societal construct, not so much biology, but expanded to everything. And in Latin, there's masculine and feminine, but also neuter. Some nouns have a natural gender. This is where the gender is what you expect it to be based on the sex of the object. So puer, boy, is masculine, while puella, girl, is feminine. Rex, king, is masculine, while regina, queen, is feminine. A lot of nouns have male and female forms, dominus and domina, the male and female master, and venator and venatrix, hunter and huntress. This natural gender is why certain nouns in the first declension, like poeta, nauta, pirata, agricola, are masculine. They refer to males. Also with natural gender are groups of people. In Latin, it's typical to defer to masculine, so names of tribes and people are in the masculine, like Romani for Romans is masculine. However, terms, not names, but terms for groups of people can be any gender. So you'll get things like agmen in the neuter, exercitus in the masculine, and acies in the feminine, and they all essentially refer to an army. This is because of grammatical gender. Sexless nouns, so all chuckles aside, these are nouns that don't specifically refer to a male or female animal, have a gender assigned to it that isn't necessarily supposed to make sense. Domus, house, is feminine. Why? No reason, other than that the history of the word, and sometimes the ending, dictates that it must be feminine. You can run your mind into the ground trying to rationalize the genders for nouns, like how the domus is run by the mother of the family, so therefore it must be feminine. But in German, the word for house is das Haus, and it's neuter. Why? Because German women had less authority in the house? No, it's neuter because it is. And domus is feminine because it is feminine, not for any other rational reason. Now that said, there are some general rules of Latin gender that you can follow. So here we go. Masculine nouns are names of men and other male beings. Okay, this makes sense. But also rivers are masculine, and winds are masculine, and mountains are masculine. Although a big exception to this rule are the Alps, Alpes, which is feminine. And the names of months are masculine, because the word mensis, month, is masculine. This relates back to mythology possibly, where river gods were masculine, the winds were masculine, and many mountains like the Atlas Mountains are masculine. It also helps that the word for mountain, mons, is masculine, so Mons Olympus is really the Olympian mountain. By the way, two of the underworld rivers, the Styx and the Lethe, are feminine because they are so in mythology as well. Feminine nouns are names of women and other female beings, which of course makes sense again, but also cities, countries, plants, trees, and gems, and most abstract qualities are feminine as well. So Roma is feminine, Italia is feminine. The laurel tree, laurus, is feminine even though it has second declension masculine endings. The city name Corinthos is also feminine despite its US ending. And abstract qualities, especially those that end in tas or tus, like virtus, courage, or veritas, truth, are feminine in the third declension. Neuter nouns aren't so obvious because there are no neuter people, not even eunuchs, by the way, as the word eunuchus is masculine. But there is one rule about neuters. Indeclinable nouns, words whose ending never changes based on their grammar, are neuter. So nihil, nothing, is neuter, as is the word fas, right. This also means that infinitives, which are nouns, believe it or not, are also neuter. The point to take from this is that gender is often just a particular aspect of the language, and while rules exist, you might just have to learn, memorize the gender of words, except when you can figure it out from the grammar. This is an important point. If a noun has an adjective associated with it, you can often figure out the gender of the noun by looking at the adjective. So, what gender is lapis, which means stone? I couldn't tell you. But if we modify this noun with an adjective and make it a great stone, lapis magnus. Now, since magnus is the masculine form of the adjective, lapis must be masculine. Manus, hand, looks like a masculine noun because of the US ending. But if I write the phrase my hand, manus mea, the A ending on the adjective mea tells us that manus here is feminine. So gender is simplified by knowing your grammar. One hand helps the other. And with this, you can hopefully break open that great black stone of Latin gender.